Factz Media Global. We here. You already know what it is. Live at 5. Be live at 5. Appreciate everybody coming out. The topic: if you had 24 hours to live, just think. The topic: if you had 24 hours to live, just think. But before I get into that, what's going on with up? What's going on with all my first shifters? What up? What up? What up? My first shifters. Y'all got in. Y'all got it done. I hope y'all got home safe. You already know. Second shifters need to go back to y'all scheduled assignments. Get out that bathroom. You cannot be checking in with the KOC live on the FMG. I appreciate it, but you know what I mean. I would hate for y'all to get into any kind of trouble because you're in the bathroom stall and all the way in the back stall on YouTube trying to hang out. Third shifters, hope y'all heavied up and took care of all y'all running around. I got y'all a little rest, got up and took care of all y'all running around because you know what time it is. I had to get up in there a little bit. Yeah, zblackcard.com. If you haven't checked it out, I encourage you to go check it out and get your Z Black card now. Be sure use promotional code capital M, capital L, the number 7, and the letter U, capital. Go do your research. Factz Media Global. As you can see, the address behind the wall campaign has launched. I need you to get that address and shoot it to your family. Male, female, everybody, local, state, federal. Shoot the info to your family. They ain't got nothing better else to do. Tell them to do themselves a favor. Contact the Behind the Wall campaign for additional information so they can enroll now. Please, I appreciate that. What else? Oh yeah. You also, when you submit your essays for the essay contest, everybody who want to take part in the essay contest, grand prize, $50 gift card, Toys R Us, GameStop, what was it? Toys R Us, GameStop, and Foot Locker. Basically, $50 of your choice, any game card for the winner. The topic is technology. 1-page essay. Technology. Three paragraphs. First, want to know, what does technology mean to you? Second paragraph. Do you think that we take technology for granted this day and age? 3. What are your opinions? What are your thoughts? I want your views on how do you feel we can change the mindset on technology. Basically, when I say the mindset, meaning how the youth nowadays are just stuck in the devices. You can't get them out of the phones. You can't get them out of the tablets. So yeah, you want to take part? It's the same address for the Behind the Wall campaign. The same address. You submit your essays. Parents, I encourage you to get the kids involved. It's 24 hours. 24 hours to live. Just think.
You know Lil Ray Ray got killed, right, sir? Got it. What? What you wanna do? Wanna be ballers, shot callers.
Let me check this out.
I want you to ask yourself one question. If you had 24 hours to live, what would you do? That's some deep shit right there. A lot of pressure. How would you handle it?
How would you handle that? Now, I mean, we gotta handle that every day. It's a fact, every day. That's what you have. You don't have no more, you don't have no less than 24 hours in a single day. Right? Now listen, I play the music because I believe, music does something to us, you know what I mean? That's why you had the village dance, the rain dance, all of those different things. They played a part in history, So music also it holds a really, really, really dear place in my journey, as far as you can listen to a song and it'll put you right back to the place where you was at when the first time you heard it. You know what I mean? Think about a different artist or maybe a different live show or something of that nature that you was able to take part in. It does something to the psyche. Let me leave it at that. But before I get into the topic, I just wanted to just touch on that, as far as I use music on my platform to basically tell a story. That's how I've always been, even in my personal. I always use music. So if you was around me and I played a certain kind of music, and if you really, really knew me, you can basically tell what kind of mood that I was in, what type of time I was on. You understand? But before I get into the topic, I'm gonna get into some breaking news. Factz Media Global. We live at 5. Alright, first we got some severe storms in the south. Eastern Texas got 2 dead. Eastern Gupta, I've been talking about that. I've been keeping y'all in tune with what's going on over there in Syria. In the Eastern Gupta, the Syrian rebels over there, they agreed to evacuate wounded civilians. So just think about that. You know what I mean? Like, it's going down. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you gonna be one of these, casualties, waiting for somebody to agree to be able to set you free? At any given time, it could be a lone radical group. You know, choose to target your development on a real life Fortnite, life Fortnite gameplay. Just got a group of kids that said they want to take it to the next level. Who knows? Shout out Fortnite though. But yeah. More on breaking news. Got Da Vinci. Da Vinci, everybody familiar with Da Vinci, the famous designer, fashion icon. Da Vinci is dead. He has met his demise at the age of 91. So we lost Da Vinci today. Also, Kathmandu. Every time I hear about Kathmandu, it brings me back to that movie, The Golden Child, with the brother Eddie Murphy, when he had to go over there and he had to get the knife. That was one of my favorites as a youngin, as a child. One of my favorite movies, The Golden Child. You know what I mean? It was just one of the favorite parts. I always would whine when he went in the temple to get the knife, and he had to tell him why he wanted the knife, and he was mixing on the thing. He said, I want the knife, please. Yeah, so Kathmandu. Sad. Today over in Kathmandu, it's a plane crash. Right now, at the moment, it's at least 50 dead. I was heard it was 71 on board when the plane went down. Right now, they're confirming 50, at least 50 lost their life. Breaking news, Factz Media Global. Alright, now I don't know if you heard in one of my last shows, I talked about the 24-hour syndrome, how, all you got is 24 hours in a day. So if you break it down, they pushing you into what? The warehouse and the workplace. They pushing you in there. The minimum 10 hours, maximum, they trying to get at least 12 hours out of you. 40 hours. They flex shift, 2 on, 3 off, vice versa. However you want to mix it, however you want to mingle it. You invest in at least. Let's just put it at 10, just for safety measures, for right now. For public opinions, so you can say, what I'm saying? We're gonna leave it at 10 hours. So at 10 hours is dedicated out of your 24 hours at the workplace. But you haven't added in the time, to and from. So you gotta get to work, you gotta get from work. So hey, some of these places, if you live in a certain community and you really want a nice paying job where you're gonna be able to support your family and be comfortable to the best of your ability, you might have to travel. So let's say an hour, but just so nobody can try to dissect what I'm saying and try to make it seem. I'm gonna try to narrow it down so it can be like the worst case scenario. So let's just say a half an hour to work, half an hour back. That's 1 hour, so that's 11 hours right there. Of course, you have to get your sleep, so you need at least 8 hours to be functional. And that means to be functional in a way where when they say you join this company, there's a possibility and there's opportunity to go up the ladder, the corporate ladder, or whatever the case may be. Understand that you gotta have. You gotta have your rest. You gotta be on point when you come into work. So you can complete your tasks in a timely manner and fashion and all those things of that nature. So there you go, 8. You gotta dedicate that. In order to be proficient, you can say, oh, I only get 5, I only get 6. Be it as it may, you're working on a whole nother wavelength. That's you. A lot of those people I noticed through my journey, they have all kind of let me say, how can I say this? Assistance. You know what I'm saying? Assistance, be it medical, non-medical, legal, illegal. It's some kind of substance that's driving that force. It's just my personal. But so you got 8 hours sleep, you got the 10 hours after work, that's 18. You got the to and from work, that's 19 hours. Then of course, you gotta go pick the kids up. Whether it's the after school program, the daycare, babysitter, you name it. So you gotta pick the kids up. So we're gonna just round that off at rough 20 hours is lost out of your 24 hours in the blink of an eye. And before you even think about anything, we could just lay that out right there, and you challenge it. Challenge it.
Mace, what would you do?
Yo, I turn out all the hoes that's heterosexual. Smack conceited niggas right off the pedestal. I even look for my dad that I never knew, to show him how I look in my Beretta too. I do good shit like take kids from the ghetto, show them what they can have if they never settle. Take every white kid from high class level, show them what Christmas like growing up in the ghetto. Teach niggas how to spend, stash the rest. Give blunts to the niggas under massive stress. Give every bum on the street cash to invest and hope Harlem will blow up. Yeah, last request.
Now, let's get into the 4 hours. Let's get into the 4 hours that you got. And what can you do? What do you have to do in those 4 hours? Them 4 hours that you got out of your 24 hours a day. Let's get into them 4 hours. But before we get into the 4 hours, 4 hours to spare. 4 hours. There we go. 4-hour window. Now, if all we have is a 4-hour window, if everybody, is striving for perfection, everybody's doing what they gotta do, everybody, is moving forward in a positive manner, we just attest to the fact that to be able to be in those kind of realms, that you're gonna have to be on a 20-hour schedule. Your 20 hours is gone, so you're gonna be left with 4 hours to spare. That's it. So if the majority, if everybody's supposed to be on the same page and the majority of people is heading towards the right direction, why is it that in that 4-hour window so much is going on right now? Everybody doing right, handling business, 4 hours to spare. The world is in a state of havoc. America is all over the place. 4 hours to spare. So in them 4 hours, we got a whole lot of things that's going on that got us in the state that we're in. Because, come on, what are you doing? What did you do in the 24 hours? I just explained it. The only thing that you did was go to work. You got to and from there safely. Got your kids safely. And then hopefully you got some nice sleep. You didn't cook any food. You didn't sit down for no homework. You didn't sit down, for no family structure meeting. I mean, you didn't do any of that. But I mean, we all know that this has to be done in that 4-hour frame. So if you have to do all of that, you already done wasted 20 hours. Soon as your feet hit the ground, you wasted 20 hours. 20 hours was 8. You already knew that. You kissed that by. So within the 4 hours, you still have other things that needs to be done within the household when you're raising your family. Trying to push towards that American dream. How can you still do all of those things and then still have time for nonsense? Why is the world still in the state that it's in? For 4 hours to spare. You got 24 hours. 24 hours. Can somebody explain that? Please. Factz Media Global. We live at 5.
How long they been gone?
About 15 minutes.
Get the dogs. Get the dogs!
Well, if I had 24 hours to kick the bucket, fuck it, I'd probably eat some fried chicken and drink a Nantucket, then go get a job from Branson and make sure I leave my mother the money to take care of grandson. Load the 3 power, hop in the Eddie Bauer and go give all 6 to that poppy that sold me flour. Get a fresh baldy, make a few calls, shop at the mall, shoot a little ball, have all of my bitches in one telly at the same time, spread it out on different floors, and I'm gonna play lotto. For what? Even though I ain't gonna be here tomorrow, so what?
24 hours. Now, we talked about the power of music and why I choose to utilize music on my platform. Of course, you could talk about the copyrights or whatever the case may be, but I don't run into them issues. I don't got my hand in anybody's pockets. Talked about, the village ceremonies. We're used to that. Get out, everybody get the drums out, you get your native instruments, and you get into your native dress. This is, you could just pick a place wherever, anywhere around the world. You're gonna run into some kind of culture where it's just festive. That's festive. That dance. That get up. That high energy. So I believe that music holds a certain power. You got the rain dance. That's significant. Brought about rain, and you gotta dance. You gotta dance, and how you dance. Let me explain one of the ways. Like, I guess you could just say this is a 2-step. Let me explain the 2-step for you. Okay. I continue to push the narrative of community, network, community. I said, listen, if you don't have a community association in your network, in your community, I'm sorry. See, network is just on my mind because I just wish that everybody could understand the importance. But I said, if you don't have a community, organization, association, any kind of nothing in your neighborhood, then I encourage you to go and you start and you begin to form one, right? Right. So I understand when you tell people something, you can lead them to the water, but you cannot make them drink it. So let me try to just get in a little deeper into the significance of why I say what I say. It's steps, it's levels. Now, build your community. Why? So when people want to come in and make moves in your community, they have to have your approval. You understand? When the people want to come in your community to make moves, they want to open up a clinic, they want to open up a hotel, they want to open up a development, they want to open up a strip mall, they want to open whatever they want to do inside of your community, which they're going to do. They're going to come, they're going to do what they do. They're doing it. You watching them every day. You're watching them right now. Right in your community, doing whatever they want to do. And you didn't have a word in, you didn't have a say-so into it. You ain't say nothing. You ain't agree. You ain't profit. They go on and doing whatever they want to do in your community in the same playground that your kids been playing in. In most cases, the same playground that you've been playing in is the same. It's nothing changed. There's no monkey bars, no new monkey bars, no new swings, no new slide. It's kids, generation and generation of kids got the same scar on their leg or across their shoulder somewhere from the slide, because even though the slide was dangerous, all the kids still just chose, what else they was going to do. But they still coming to your community, they still developing, they still doing whatever they want to do inside of your community. But because you don't have no voice, why? Because you didn't start a community association to acknowledge the fact that, hey, we have a community here. This is just not no hood. This is not the ghetto. This is not the slums. Contrary to what you may think, hey, this is a community, and before you can come in here with your bulldozers and your shovels, hey, we want to know what's going on. We got to sit down and talk. Then you have leverage in the deal. People cannot just come into your community and do as they please. Nobody can just come in your community and just do as they well please. You just watch them just walk up right in front of your porch and walk right past you. Don't say a word with their suit and ties and their equipment and they measuring and they scoping out. They don't even talk to you. They don't even say how you doing. Nothing. But if you had a community association, you would have knew before they even was on their way. And you would have had some kind of word on whether or not they actually made the journey into your community to even, sit down. Your community association, your community organization makes the rules in your community. Not those preachers and those pastors sitting in that church. They lining their pockets up with the playground money. They lining up their pockets with the equipment money. These people out here trying to make things happen. You got small little daycares. You may have a small this. You may have a small that in a community. But who's lining up the pockets with the money that's coming in the community by these big developers? Somebody is. Now, if you thought when I was going on and on and on that I was just thinking that I was under the impression that the money is not there, the money is not going somewhere. No, the money is there. The money has always been there. Where is it going? Into the church. Once it get into the church, where is it going? Right in Preacher Paulie's pocket. When you have your community association after you start it, it's other steps that you have to take. Of course, yes, it's other steps that you have to take to make it official, to have your work where you actually make a difference. It's easy as pie. But once you official, you inside of the local, when you're part of the local state legislature and what's going on locally in your community, They want to build a warehouse. They want to build a complex. They want to build a clinic, etc. inside of your community. They want to bring it in. You know what happens? Now you make demands on the enterprise. The enterprise, when they come in and they make their proposal, you be able to make demands now. You could be able to make demands. You tell the enterprise, look, you know, if y'all want to come into my community to develop, we need X, Y, Z, and what we choose to do with those funds is this. We want to revitalize our parks. We want to do some work in our recreation centers. We want to get some equipment for our existing centers that we have going on right now, like tables, maybe need laptops, new computers, things of that nature. You know, we want to open up a trade school. We want to start a trade school, a massive trade school, where you know you can go into this school and you can learn. You can have a selection of trades that you can learn: carpentry, masonry, electrician, welding, all in one place. All in one place, and then we want to have one of those places in all states, and then we can just keep going and going and going. This is how we make change. If you keep going, if you keep living your life under the 24-hour, should I say, lockdown, only allowing your life to consist of 4 hours. And after you really break that down, I can't even tell you what you really gonna get out of it. Then I'm gonna tell you where you're gonna be. You're gonna continue to live your life, and it may be good, and it may be fulfilling, and it may be whatever you wanted it to be. But at the end of the day, you know what it was gonna be? Nothing left after you're gone. Nothing substantial. Nothing substantial that you can leave. No legacy that you can leave down to generations and generations. But do we see this going on all the time? Yes, it's going on all the time. Every time we turn around. But it's only the fact that you're stuck. If you're looking into your 24 hours in a day and you're seeing the same thing what I just explained, oh man, and you haven't woke up yet, come on. We live at 5. This is no joke. Wake up.
When I was close to the ledge, I'd probably be in a wedge. With this bad Spanish mommy playing between my legs. Then I'm off to get choked and smoke one of them dreads. And get that bitch from 89 and gave us up to the feds. Thought of mama, wrote her a note, we ain't close. I hate her boyfriend, so I put one in his throat. Fuck around and sniff an ounce of raw. Bust the 4, pause, pull out my dick and take a piss on the floor. Jump in the whip, get them cats I wanted to get. Since the tavern on the Green robbery in 86. Went home, took a shower in nice cold water. And spent my last hours with my son and my daughter.
Listen. It's about the youth, people. It's about the youth. A lot of these parks, a lot of these little parks don't even have no names on them. A lot of these little community parks, they're not dedicated to nothing. That's why they look the way that they look. Listen. Network. Phase 1. Behind the Wall campaign is launched. Write down that address. You get you an envelope and a stamp, and you send it to your peoples, male or female, locked up behind the wall, and you tell them, listen, you might want to get in touch with these people and write this address. Who is it? Oh, it's behind the wall. All you have to do is just send them a letter, and they would send you the information to enroll, to be a part of change. Even though you're behind the wall, you're only behind there for rehabilitation. We just choose to, categorize them as the lost and forgotten. But, our brothers and sisters, elders, our youth, the class, the shit, we got every class. So, need y'all to get the word out. I'm going to continue to push it. Eventually it'll get out. Maybe the people that support the Behind the Wall campaign haven't even been born yet. Who knows? I know I got people, so Factz Media Global, we gonna work. I'm gonna do everything but go. I'm gonna be honest. My mission is to do everything in my power except actually step foot in there, other than, if I gotta go in there for a lecture or to speak and try to spread this message and enlightenment, then that's different. But other than that, yeah, I don't encourage anybody to put themselves in a situation where they ever have to visit the other side of the wall. No, that's not. No, you don't. Let's get back into this.
You had 24 hours to live, just think. Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you screw? And who would you want to notify? Or would your ass deny that your ass about to die? You had 24 hours to live, just think. Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you screw? And who would you want to notify? Or would your ass deny that your ass about to die?
Alright, so if you had 24 hours to live, but now you see that you don't even have 24 hours to live because you're not living. Who set that standard? Who set that standard that what I want you to do is I'm going to basically turn you into a robot without you even knowing. Everybody's piled on top of each other. You got everybody in the big chain stores. You even in a restaurant, a mall, or Walmart, BJ's, or Sam's Club. Ain't no choice in the matter. They're all the same. It ain't no selection. It ain't that, that mom and pop exclusive market that they only had. When you went there, that was the only place that you can go to get with the goods that they was offering. You couldn't get it nowhere else. That it was. Where is that? That's taken away. And everybody's piled on top of each other in these developments and the tenements, in the warehouse, temp agencies piled up on the top of each other, fighting, competing, breaking laws, exploiting, taking advantage. You name it. The struggle is real. Is this the life you chose? Is this the 24 hours you chose? Or did you expect that you was going to have a chance to actually live life? You know, reach the expectations, the highest expectations in life that exist. What happened to that? You know, but now we just settle for less than 4 hours a day to live life, and we wonder why our children are struggling. We're not home. We're not there. We're not in their life. No matter how you look at it, we've been pushed. We've been pushed out. Somebody else, believe me, somebody else is raising your child. You look at it for yourself.
Had 24, nigga gotta get the raw. Run all in, Poppy spot, put one in his head at the door. For the times that I paid for 20, and he gave me 12. The other 8 had to be baking soda by itself. So Poppy, fuck you. You dead now, I'm off to the bank with those bricks in the book bag and the stolen Jag I just grabbed. Run in there, grab the bank teller with the pretty face. Fuck her in the safe and have her take me to my place. We'll make a kid, but that's selfish and that'll be bad. For my son to have the same shit his pops just had. And when I'm down to 23, I'ma be strapped with TNT. Run up in City Hall and take the judges with.
So, if I'm saying something wrong, if I said anything wrong, live with the KOC, FMG, numbers don't lie. Numbers have never lied. Numbers don't lie. Let me tell you how numbers don't lie. I want you to go and look up Steve Morgan. Steve Morgan is the CEO of Wild Lands. Look up Steve Morgan, CEO of Wild Lands. Now this is a thing, and they call them species banks. Bank species. Basically, they capitalize off of land. You know, like if it's a land and it's a it's just you know, native for an owl, or it could be a salamander, it could be a fly, it could be a mosquito. You know, if you're trying to develop in some kind of area where currently it's taken up by any kind of species that's banked, any kind of bank species, then you're gonna have to pay to play, and that's how these companies make their way. So just imagine that. You know, when you do your research, you're gonna see some of these acres going for $250,000 an acre. Why would you have to pay $250,000 for an acre when, I mean, you got, just because some a special kind of fly is on the acre at right at this time, you're still bargaining, you're still selling, like you're not conserving. It's all built and driven behind the money, because it's not like, okay, you said that this is an endangered species that we must conserve for the greater good of the environment. Okay, but this acre regularly is only 10-15,000, but because this endangered species is native to this area that you're trying to acquire, I'm gonna need $250,000 to basically exterminate the species. So it's basically a hit. Look it up yourself. This kind of behavior, these kind of groups is where the power lies. If you ask me, Factz Media Global, it's these kind of groups who are responsible, if not wholly, partially responsible for the conditions of the things that's holding us down as a collective. You know, now this is a particular situation. But let's say if you come to the realization and you say, okay, you want to go get you about 2,000, 3,000 acres. You know, 2,000, that's 3,000 acres, that's roughly a mile. You know, it's not really much that you can do, but now if it was 4,000 hectare acres, then that's probably about roughly a little over 2 miles. Yeah, it's time to, now it's time to play. But because along this trail, it might be some salmon or a salamander, you're gonna jack the price astronomically. And if I'm able to, I mean, excuse how I'm putting this, but if I'm able to sell enough ass, you know, because that's what you're selling ass. At that point, if you decide to go along with that deal that's put in place by the state, federal, like they backing this, it'd be selling your ass. Because once you're done, finished with the project, there's no way to turn over no profit, because who else is going to come and do the same thing? Who else is going to come to build a house for their family because they work at the site or whatever project that you put together? No one. Why? Because when they go to try to get the permits and the things of that nature to build their house for the same 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 acres that they want to put their little house on, so what you saying? They're gonna have to pay 5, 6, maybe 7 million? You gotta be kidding me. I mean, of course, we see these kind of businesses wouldn't be thriving if it wasn't somebody taking advantage of these opportunities, and it is. Look it up. Look it up in, you know, Cali, Las Vegas area, the sand dunes, the desert area. Don't keep looking at those pictures when you see them cars racing down the desert highway on their way to Vegas. However way they chose to do it, however way they did it, they settling in those lands, in those sand dunes that they said it was unsettable. Nobody can thrive. Nobody would be able to survive. You know, there would never be no communities in Nevada. You know what I mean? Look, do your research now. See what's going on. Factz Media Global. Let's say it again. Steve Morgan, CEO of Wild Lands. Look into banked species. Factz Media Global. Live at 5. We just broke down, once again, 24 hours. 24 hours in the day, 24 hours to live. 24
24 hours to live. I'd probably die on the 5th, running the station, squeezing the nth. I'll be waiting to get the hell and bust down Satan. Styles on the shit, and I got spots vacant. Back to the 24, I'll make it out the precinct, shooting niggas that I hate in they face while they're eating. I'm on the job, robbing every so-called dawn. Give the money to my moms and tell her that I'm gone. I would school my little brother that niggas mean I'm harmed. You should learn to tell the future without reading palms. When they coming with the bullets, you prepared with the bomb. So fuck being violent, get stocks and bonds.
Alright, so let me see. When you break it down and you say to yourself, okay, what is the KLC talking about? If it's like this now, how was it back then? How was it back in the day? I mean, everybody had to work. That's how everybody's the American dream. Everybody had to work to make money, take care of their family, feed their kids, you know, in promises of a better future, right? You know what? Nothing. Only thing happened is that after those 5 days, you know, after those 5 days, you did the 20-hour shuffle. 5 days straight. You did the 24. You did 24 hours a day, but you only got less than 4 hours. But we're gonna just keep it at 4, just to be, I guess you can say, keeping it official. You only got 4, so you did the 20-hour shuffle. That's what you did. And got nothing. What were they doing back in the day? Same thing. Ain't nothing changed. The only thing you gotta do is just try to find out how did it happen. So for the 5 days, Monday through Friday, so now they got you in there. So I mean, you lucky if you ain't in there on the weekend for 12 hours, something of that nature. But you know, they got you. But you know what you gotta look forward to? And we'll put you right back on track fresh for Monday. You go in there with your little change and you go see Preacher Paulie. And Preacher Paulie got a mission. Preacher Paulie got a purpose. Preacher Paulie is a part of the design. So what's Preacher Paulie's job? Preacher Paulie's job is to get you in there and get you all fuel back up and recharge the battery in your back to get you ready bright and early the next day. But in order for him to do this, you can best believe them ties is coming around. The collection plate is coming around. Those envelopes, yeah, they come around. They're going to come down to the altar. They're going to drop cash. You know, they're going to do the whole skeptical on you because it's all in the, you know, it's like the end result of that whole show that we tune into on Sundays and have been tuning into is just to get you readjusted for the same old thing on Monday. And it just repeats and it repeats and it repeats and it keeps repeating itself. If I'm saying something wrong, and you let me know. Don't forget, hit the like, subscribe. Keep pushing the narrative.
24 left until my death, so I'm gonna waste a lot of lives, but I'll cherish every breath. I know exactly where I'm going, but I'ma send you there first. And with the shit that I'll be doing, I'ma send you there worse. I've been living with a curse, and now it's all about to end. But before I go, say hello to my little friend. But I got to make it right, reconcile with my mother. Try to explain to my son, tell my girl I love her. C4 up under the coat, snatch up my dog. Turn like 3 buildings on Wall Street into a fog.
Live at 5. Factz Media Global. Continuing to push the narrative. Challenge these agendas. And you know what it takes. Ain't no more talking. As soon as you pinpoint and you figure out what it takes, all you gotta do is do it. Stay consistent. Understand, somebody's always watching. There's somebody always watching. Regardless. Might not be watching now. Might not be watching later on today. Might tune in on the weekends. Why can I sit around and let when and where anybody is getting this uncut, straight facts, how can I focus on that when I understand that, hey, they barely got time to spend with their own family. They at work 20 hours a day. How am I expecting 3 of those hours? I'm expecting 3 of those hours out of the 24-hour day. So, you know, people get it when they get it. They get it in their own time. It's just like with the addicts, what they tell you about the addicts. Person is not going to stop getting high until they ready. When they get tired of being tired, then that's when they're going to stop getting high. They'll tell you that. Only point behind this show is just to try to enlighten the people. Like, look, listen, numbers don't lie. Look at the math. What are you doing? How and what can you do starting today to try to change the number ratio? I mean, we understand you're going to always be on a borderline robot, because if you break it down to 8 hours, 8 and 8 is 16. So of course, yeah, that would be wouldn't that be like more of balance? And you got 8 hours, right, to work. They make sure that you get out of there on time, so you can keep your schedule so nobody's mad. So maybe if you know, they set you up for failure too. You gotta be mindful of this. They set you up for failure. Because if you know that you're coming into work and you're supposed to get off at 3 o'clock and you got all your babysitter and everything set up, and you set up all the you put everything in place because you knew that you had to be to work at a certain time, you was gonna be off at a certain time, and you made promises to people. It might be the babysitter, the daycare. If you're not back, if you don't pick up, you tell them you're gonna be there at such and such time, or if it's required for you to pick up your kids at a certain amount of time from these daycares, and you're not there, they tack on fees. They say, oh, it's $35, $35 late fee, whatever fee. It's still so. Did you put that hour and a half that caused you to be put in this situation? That hour and a half little change that you made because you had to stay at work because if you didn't, you was gonna lose your job. That's going straight to the daycare on an extra bonus. You think that they don't know this? So no matter how you look at it, what can you do? Only way you're gonna be able to still do your 20. I'm gonna keep it like it is. Your 20-hour shuffle. The only way you're gonna be able to continue to do your 20-hour shuffle and continue to live the lifestyle that your 20-hour shuffle have you stuck in. Only way you're going to be able to do that is you have to network. You have to surround yourself with a network of people with the same, vision or similar vision to what you have, and you have to network and y'all have to move. It's going on all around you right now. Now is the time. You only have 24 hours.
You had 24 hours to live. Just think, where would you go? What would you do? Who would you screw? And who would you want to notify? Or would your ass deny that your ass about to die? You had 24 hours to live. Just think, where would you go? What would you do? Who would you screw? And who would you want to notify? Or would your ass deny that your ass about to die?
Factz Media Global. It's been a pleasure. Live at 5. We don't went over the topic. We don't open up some eyes. If you had 24 hours to live, you might be able to think. Only if you had. But we all know that we don't have 24 hours. We know there is 24 hours in a day, but how much of those 24 hours we actually have the opportunity to live, I can't tell you. Thanks for everybody coming out. I'll get back with y'all later. 11 p.m. Daily wrap up. You already know what it is. Factz Media Global. I'm out. 1.